Okay, Dennis Young here, very special guest, world-renowned artist, painter, documentary now new on his music, 50 years plus of amazing art. Paul Whitehead, it's a pleasure having you on.
Well, thank you.
And so let's maybe start off with how you were you interested in art as a kid, or this just naturally
Yeah, yeah.
happened?
I never had a lesson in my life, and I found I have a brother and a sister, right, younger than me, and I found quite early on that if I sat at my table drawing, people would leave me alone. All
Hmm.
the madness and the craziness in the house would go on, but I was in my own little world, and I found that if I could imagine something, I could draw it. If I said let me do a horse with a fish's head, I could just draw it. And of course, that became a big thing at school.
Hmm.
I had like this magic gift. The kids would say, "Oh, look." And sometimes they get pissed off at me because my stuff would get put up on the wall at school.
Right.
And they say, "Oh, you're just a flash bastard." And it was just what I did. And so I was
That's
naturally inclined towards it. And it wasn't until I was about 15, 16, one of my art teachers said to me, you're very talented. You can make a living doing this, which was like a revelation to me.
yeah.
And he took me under his wing. He was married to a French woman in England,
Mm,
which to me was kind of exotic. They had like a French lifestyle, they had wine with their dinner. And she was like a beatnik sort of wife. And he exposed me to all this stuff that I had no idea. And he kind of steered me through the process, and I got a scholarship to study art,
okay.
which I was in my element. But my father said, "What are you studying art for? What you saw in the documentary, right?"
Oh, yeah.
He
I saw
actively
that.
he discouraged me. He didn't want me to do that. I realize now that he was probably trying to help me. He was worried about my future, and he thought if he becomes an artist, he's going to be starving. So I don't blame him for that. I mean, he wanted me to get a job with a pension.
I think that's what a lot of parents wanted back then. Why go into music? Why go into art? You're not gonna make a living out of it.
Yeah,
It's unfortunate. That's what you.
especially as they'd come out of World War II,
Oh, yeah.
all the chaos of that, and they wanted sort of some stability, and their kids to them were going to live the life that they could have lived if World War II hadn't happened.
That's true.
So they wanted us to sort of follow their dreams, really. That was what it was all about.
Now
And of
you
course,
be, now you became like art director for what? Time Out
yeah,
magazine. Is
yeah.
that how you met all of these
It
uh
was
bands and
it was a
artists?
good place because Time Out was like the alternative guide to what was on in London, right? And
Right.
the nature of what we highlighted in the magazine kind of gave away our politics. We were leftist, and we focused on entertainment in London that was sort of off the map. It was like somewhat obscure,
Right.
little, and we focused on little clubs. And so, if a band wanted to advertise, it was the absolute best place to advertise. So they'd all come in the office and they'd place an ad, and I'd get to talk to them. It was like, you know, ground central for the art and culture movement in London. It was a perfect place to be. I
I
mean,
imagine.
yeah,
So you had all these young kids coming in with all this amazing talent back
yeah.
then.
In fact, it was kind of funny because I was the art director. There was a music director. There was an events director. He took care of like theatre and film and all that sort of thing. Every now and again, a band would come in, and the guy that did the reviews, the music reviews, would say, "I don't want to review this. You want to review it, Paul?" And he'd give it to me, right?
Oh, wow.
And I'd review it, but I always give like sort of caustic kind of reviews. I always remember the first Yes album.
Oh, yeah.
It
What a
came
great
in, right?
record.
It came in, and I didn't like it. I just didn't like the music for some reason. And my review was just two words. It's a no on Yes.
Oh,
So
did management get mad? Did
they
they
never forgave me for that.
oh boy.
So, and I also there was other things that happened. There were bands that would do like these junkets. There was a band called Brinsley Schwartz. Have you ever heard of them?
No, no.
They were an English band that someone put together as like a manufactured band, right? And they decided to do a big launch. They were going to fly all the journalists in London to New York and have a gig at the Fillmore East.
Okay.
So the music director said, I don't want to go. Do you want to go, Paul? You go. I don't know who these guys are. So I had like a 4-day trip to New York, which culminated in a performance at the Fillmore East with who was on the bill now? There's the Birds,
Oh my
Jefferson,
gosh.
Jefferson Airplane, Van Morrison. I mean, amazing.
Yeah, that was a golden age. I think the golden age of music. That whole from the early mid '60s to like the even late '70s. All this incredible music that came out of everywhere.
Well, not only the music, I was having dinner last night with a friend of mine, and we were talking about the current situation. And I said, well, you know, I remember really clearly 1967, I really felt that we could change the world.
Mm,
And it was a movement throughout the world. Youth throughout the world was very optimistic,
yep.
very much into the peace
Mm,
movement. And when you when you think about it, the things that my generation launched, I mean, the whole health food thing,
right.
recycling, all this sort of stuff was directly from my generation.
Yeah, it's amazing what the music that you even saw in the clubs right back then. The
Oh
Pink
yeah,
Floyd, everybody, right?
yeah. Yeah, and it's hard to explain. It was just normal. It was just what was going on. You'd
So
you'd go out and you'd see Arthur Brown and Pink Floyd and
mm,
3 or 4 bands a night. You go out about 10 or 11 o'clock at night, you wouldn't get home till 4 or 5 in the morning.
now the Marquee was the big club, wasn't it back then? Was that
Yeah,
the
yeah,
club where everybody wanted to play?
yeah. The Marquee was a big place, yeah, because it had a very nice sound system and it
Mm,
was quite large, for London.
right.
Yeah, I was very friendly with the Yardbirds and they had like a residency at the Marquee.
Oh boy, Jeff Beck, you knew pretty well.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, what a guitarist.
I always remember I'd be hanging out with them, just before they were going to go on. And there was always this guy sitting in the corner with an electric guitar, not plugged in, and he was just, up and down, very solitary, just by
Mm,
himself, practicing. That was Jeff Beck.
that's something.
He
And
was never
go
he was
ahead.
never a big talker. He was never a
Mm.
sort of outgoing guy. He was very, internal.
Did you
But
get
yeah,
to see the Who there also?
yep, yep,
Oh, I can imagine that.
yeah, pretty loud. I used to
So,
go. Sometimes my ears would be ringing the next morning.
oh, imagine. I don't think Pete Townsend has much hearing left. I mean,
No.
I watched that TV show where that something exploded, I think, and it was right at his ear. Oh my
Oh
gosh.
yeah. They put too much explosive in the drum, right? Yeah.
I'm a musician, so my hearing's going.
Yeah.
I I'm just going to be getting hearing aids in a
Oh,
couple
really?
weeks. I always had headphones on, playing drums and instruments, so it
Yeah.
unfortunately catches up with you.
Of course. Yeah. You're a drummer, huh?
Drummer, and I played keyboards, and
Ah,
I put out my own music, and I put it on Bandcamp. I don't sell too much, but at this point, I don't care. I'm just having fun with it.
yeah.
Like this podcast show.
Yeah. I'm in a band that's on Bandcamp.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I
Um,
didn't know that.
yeah. It started in COVID. There's 5 of us here in Ventura, and we used to get together and just play. Well, it gradually got bigger. We got an electric drum kit, and we got amps, and we got the whole thing, right? In my studio, COVID hit, and we said, okay, let's make a pact that we meet every Friday
Hmm.
and we play, and we don't meet anybody else. It's just the 5 of us, right? So we did that for about 6 months. We got really good. We got to that level where you're intuitive with each other.
Oh yeah, that's always a special thing.
Yeah, you'd be playing and we'd all shift at the same time. It was very good. Yeah.
It's a great feeling when everything connects. when you're in the zone.
Yeah.
You know, I was in a band in the 80s, Liquid, and we had some shows that we were just in the zone and the music just takes over. It's a
Yeah.
fascinating thing.
Yeah. Yeah. I like making music. I play the theremin. That's my instrument.
Oh, wow. You know who also plays the theremin? Tim Blake
Oh yeah.
from Gong.
Yeah.
If you ever check him out, he plays it
I
really
saw
well.
I saw Gong last October actually.
Oh, how about that? They're
They were
probably still good.
they're amazing. I was amazed. Yeah. Yeah, they played at Progstock in New Jersey.
Oh, how about, are you going to come out for that again? I was going to ask
Yeah.
you about that.
Yeah. Every
I'll
year.
maybe see you there because I'm going to try to make it.
Where do you live?
Uh, South Plainfield, Central New Jersey.
Oh, okay. Oh, you should. Yeah. You should definitely go. It's a
I'm going to
great.
go. Now, are you going to be doing artwork there or just selling your paintings?
What
What's
I
going to?
do over the years, I mean, this last year was my fifth year, right? And the organizers, they've kind of given me carte blanche. I have an area where I always have a little show of my work, and then they say, do whatever you want to do. So every year they usually provide me with like three or four canvases. So I'm
Right.
going to do a painting. Either I do it live while a band plays, or I just do it wherever I want to. So I never know what I'm going to do.
That's what's great about it. I saw
Yeah,
the Brand X video when you were doing the
right.
live with Brand X. What a great band they were.
Yeah. In fact, this last year, it's kind of funny. The two organizers of the festival got married, right?
Okay.
So the bride came up to me and she said, I've got something to ask you. Do you think Trisha could be the flower girl at my wedding?
Hmm.
So I said, absolutely. I love
Oh,
it.
that would be amazing. And so you did it?
Yeah. So I've actually now been the best man at a wedding and the flower girl.
Oh my gosh, that's great. That is great. That other persona is really something
Yeah.
that the other part of you that you bring to life. And now
Yeah.
what's really fascinating, everybody out there, watch the documentary. Don't miss it. It's worth it. It's on Amazon Prime, right?
Yeah.
That's where I saw it
It's,
on.
it's on Apple Plus as well.
Oh, it is? Okay.
The
Have
Apple
you,
Plus. Yeah.
what kind of feedback have you gotten? Any feedback from the?
All positive.
Great.
I've had no negative feedback whatsoever. I've been quite amazed. And you got to understand that I had no say in the way that they cut the thing.
Right.
They just came, three of the director came over a period of like 2 or 3 months, and we just sit and talk, and she'd ask me questions. So then she had all this footage, and she could have cut it any way she wanted. She could have made me look like anything she wanted, right?
Right.
Uh, she did one cut, which was an hour and 30 minutes. And the producer is a friend of mine, an English guy. He was her boyfriend, right? He looked at it and he said, "There's 15 minutes in here that's just bullshit. It's too political." And I'm not particularly a political person.
Right.
So there's stuff with Marjorie Taylor Greene and all that stuff in it. So he chopped it out, made it an hour and 15 minutes. It's so much better. And it's a true picture of me. It's I don't have an agenda. This is me. This is who I am.
Now
I'm very proud of it.
I love the cars that you did. That was really funny. That was great. Everybody out
Yeah.
there, it's really we could go to your paintings too if you'd like. If you want to go through some of those, I
Yeah,
could bring
okay.
those up. Um,
If, yeah, we could talk about each one or
sure,
whatever
sure. Let me
you're
bring
interested.
those up. That'd be great.
It's usually a good
Here
way
we
to.
are, and
Okay.
we got a whole bunch of paintings. We could go down wherever we could start off with some of these early ones. This is really neat. Wow, look at that. Is that one of your
That
early?
that was like that's for a French artist called Johnny Halliday.
Oh, okay.
Ever heard of him?
Oh yeah, I've heard of him.
He was very interesting. He was like a chameleon, right?
Right.
Whatever the trend was in music, he would become it. So for
Well,
a while, this 67, so he was like a hippie.
So he was like ahead of his
This was his,
time, right?
this was his version of Sergeant Pepper. He
Ah,
asked me to, all his friends and influences are all in those little pictures all around him, right?
that's great. Really detailed.
Yeah, yeah. The next thing he did, he was like Bonnie and Clyde, you know.
Oh,
So
that's
he
funny.
adopted whatever the current thing was, you know.
Well, that was
Yeah,
good. Then
Johnny.
he
Yeah.
would always change, so you wouldn't know what was next.
Right, right.
And then everybody knows this one.
Yeah,
That is
yeah,
Genesis fans,
yeah.
and probably a lot of people out there and big fans of Genesis, but they probably don't know you, Paul, or look on the fine notes of all the great art you did for them. This is a great
Yep,
cover. I love that
yeah.
knife. It goes right through it.
You know the story of that, right?
No, no, I don't know the story.
Well, the story behind it, I've told it many times. Peter came to me and he said, "Okay, we've got this record we're doing. A lot of it's romantic. Uh, come up with an idea for a cover." So I was a big fan of this artist called Willie Pogany,
I don't
who
know
was
him.
a child's book illustrator, very good, right? A lot of pen and ink work. So I said to Peter, let's do a sort of pastoral thing with the king and queen looking out in their kingdom, and Cupid is ambushing them.
Oh,
He's making them fall in love with each other.
I see
Okay, great
that.
idea. Peter loved it, right? So I started painting it. In those days, I was doing watercolor and pen and ink together, right?
Right.
Well, as you can see, the picture's half finished. If you look from right to left,
Oh,
right?
yeah, I see that.
There's
Yep.
a whole section unfinished, right? Well, Peter called me and he said, "Well, he said, I've got some news for you. The idea for the cover isn't going to work anymore because we've got a
Oh,
new song and it's kind of violent, right?" So I said, "Oh, yeah." He said, "It's called The Knife, and I'll send you the cassette and you can listen to it." So I was like, wow, well, I don't want to, I've done all this work. I don't really want to just trash it, you know.
right, right.
So I was coming up with ideas of how to use the art but make it violent, right? I was going to burn it,
Hmm.
you know, maybe spill ink in it. Then I went, well, it's a knife. I'll slash it with a knife, you know, which is what we did. We went in the studio, we slashed it with the knife and then took a photograph of it.
Oh, that's neat.
And
I didn't
yeah,
realize that.
and if you look at the picture, if you go just where the cherub is looking through the curtains,
Right.
that's the front cover. Everything to the right of that is the front cover. So in the record store, you get this picture with a black slash across it, but you couldn't see the other side because it was folded, right?
Right, right. I have a copy of it. Right. Yep, I'm looking
Many
at
people,
that.
many people told me they'd take the record out of the rack and open it and they go, "Oh, wow." And they'd buy they like the cover, right? And many people have said to me it's one of the rare occasions where they bought a record because of the cover and the music lives up to the cover. Very
I would
often you buy a
agree.
record, yeah, you buy a cover, you like the cover and it was crap, you know.
Well, that's what's
So this is one of
amazing about all this, Paul. Your artwork was so perfect for their music. It just everything worked
yeah,
on
yeah,
those
yeah.
records. That is pretty
What's
neat. I never knew about the knife. Look at that.
yeah,
That is pretty. And that this is the inside. Beautiful.
right.
That is gorgeous. So this was painted on a canvas.
Yes.
Beautiful. It's funny. It's interesting how this is beautiful, and then you have that the knife going through the front,
Stuck
so
in
you
the
get the positive and negative reality going here. It's great.
yeah,
And one of my all-time favorite bands. This is really
uh,
unusual.
yeah.
Now, what is that? A wheel of some sort?
It's actually a pair of scales.
Okay,
The picture called birthday. I'm a Libra, right? Born in October.
right.
And the Libra were one of my things I painted. I painted this, and Peter saw it, and he said, "That's what I want to use for our cover."
That is
So yeah, I don't know
that
what
is
to do with it.
really unique with the feet and
Yeah,
it's just got so much de little details here, if you look closely enough. It's got
You
a
see
lot of,
the beam of light is going down to London.
right. Oh yeah, see that? Oh, right. Yeah, I didn't realize that. See, you've got to look closely at this. This is what was great about you and that period of time with album covers were so unique.
And people like detail. They like little sort of jokes in there and little
Yeah.
things that were in. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
we were talking before how you'd open it up, read it, the lyrics, and then clean your marijuana. Right.
I've had a lot of shows in Italy, right? And I've several times I've come across guys, and there was one group particularly in Turin in Italy, and this guy said we used to meet every Friday, and we'd pick a record, an English record, particularly Charisma, right? And we'd study it. So they would take the record, they'd open it up, they read the lyrics in English, and then translate it into Italian. And they
Oh,
say a lot of them they learned English by doing that.
that's pretty neat. Well, there was a Genesis was really big in Italy.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, the Italians loved all the prog music.
But I remember we were in a meeting. I think it was we were doing nursery crime, and someone came in the office and they said, "Hey, do you know you're number one in Italy?" And they said, "What's number one in Italy?" Trespass was number one in Italy.
Oh, wow.
And they looked at each other and they said, "Well, I guess we better go to Italy then, eh?"
Isn't that
And
something?
yeah,
I
they
mean,
were
what a
very big in
different
Italy.
what different time, right? Now you never think about a record like that. And a long song on one side, Supper's Ready, right? Being number one in Italy. But they have good taste. They know good music there.
A
And
lot
then
of people in they study a musical instrument in school, you know.
right.
Well,
So
a lot of them,
so this is your idea for Mr. Tony Stratton Smith here, the Mad Hatter.
right? Yeah, this is basically from Alice in Wonderland, you know.
Oh, right.
The whole
That's
thing,
great.
mad.
I like how that turned out. How
Yeah,
was that? How was Tony Stratton Smith? Was he a real businessman character?
he was a lovely man. Yeah, lovely guy. He would sort of say to me, "Get together with these guys and work out the cover, will you?" And he'd just completely leave us alone. You know,
That's
there
what's
was no
nice.
whatever we came up with. Yeah, that's fine. You know, which was great for for the musicians and for me. You know, because there was no censorship. There was no
It felt like,
trying to.
yeah, it felt like you were really wanted to, really wanted you to the bands to just play and come up with what they could come up with. And
Yeah,
here's that iconic uh, nursery crime. I'm sure everybody knows with musical box, and I think this is really one of their best records. I mean, it's just everything is so unique,
yeah.
and I
I think
love the
it's a
shadows on this. That is
yeah.
great. The way you did that.
I think it's a toss up between this and Foxtrot.
That
I go
too.
back as I
Yeah,
think
that
Foxtrot is a better record.
yeah, it is. It's really it's
Yeah.
an amazing record. And then look at this here. This is very unique. What? How did you come up with this idea?
Something I did, you won't believe this, for Earth, Wind and Fire.
Oh, okay. I know
Some
them.
reason, I don't know why, but they contacted me and said they wanted me to do a record cover for them. So I
Hmm.
said, right. And the whole idea was all the planets were lining up, you know. But they didn't like it. They didn't like what I did. It wasn't wild enough for them.
Hmm.
I got to use it for someone else, you know.
Hey, why not? I mean, it's beautiful. It shows
Yeah,
the
yeah.
alignment of the universe, of our star with, our planets. Really well done. And then the iconic one here, everybody should knows this one. There it is, Foxtrot. I love you having the background there with the end of Supper's Ready. Looks like the monks with the cross way in the corner there. and the
Six saint,
shark. It's really well done.
six saintly shrouded men. Yeah,
Now, Peter dressed like this for one of the shows, didn't he?
yeah, yeah. He surprised them.
That's funny. That's really good. And then Cosmopolitan here.
Well, that was the source for the dress.
Oh, okay.
That's what there's the dress on the fox. My girlfriend had took this magazine, and I went, "That's the dress. That's the one." And she, it's the
Hmm,
same pose.
look at that. Yeah, that's it's still in publication, I think. Ah,
Oh
there
yeah,
you
yeah,
are. There you are, Paul.
yeah,
Now, is this another version of the cover that
yeah.
you worked on? Okay.
Uh, do you know a band called the Musical Box?
Right.
Are you aware? They're like a Genesis tribute band.
Oh yeah, I love them. I saw them recently.
Yeah, from Canada, right? Well,
Yep.
they were here 2 years ago, and they did like 3 or 4 gigs in the LA area. And so I said to them that they were doing the Foxtrot tour. So I said, you know what, I'm going to come and I'm going to set up and I'm going to do a reproduction of Foxtrot over the course of 3 evenings. And I'll
Hmm.
do it twice as big as it was originally, right? So that was fun. And I'm kind of touching it up here, you know.
I can't get over how
Yeah, it was.
good they are. I mean, I just saw them in December here in New Jersey, and I interviewed the keyboard player,
Oh
and
yeah,
they really have it down to a T. The
yeah.
whole show and the lighting and everything. It's quite phenomenal.
When they do the lamb, they actually have the slides,
Oh, that's
the original.
right. Right, they have
Yeah,
that. So this is one of my favorite records also. This is
yeah,
one of your most unique covers, I think.
yeah.
Now, all the figures here, are they looks like they're from history. The How did you figure out who to put up as far as
Uh,
the
Peter came to me and he said, "Okay, I've got this idea for the record, and basic idea is that everybody is a pawn, whether you're a
ah,
king or a peasant, whatever, right? Every
right,
single person in the world is a pawn in the game, right?" I went, "Oh, that's interesting, right?" So then I said to him, "Well, that's a great idea. What if we put it in like a cosmic setting?" And he went, "Oh, yeah, even better."
right,
So they're raining down on the earth, right? So then it was a question of who to pin there. And if you look at the characters, there's like Napoleon, a lot of English characters like Oliver
right.
Cromwell, kings, you know, there's a king there, uh, cricket player, an astronaut, you know. So it was like whatever phase of life you're in, you're all just pawns, you know.
I see
And
that.
it worked well. That was the first time I did like the sky as a curtain, as a
Oh,
backdrop,
I
you know.
see that. Now, this was number one also in Italy.
Yeah.
That's another
Oh,
amazing thing.
they were huge in Italy.
Ah, they're one of my favorite bands, I think. They were just so unique. I just interviewed David Jackson. What a lovely man. You
Oh,
know,
yeah.
really
Yeah.
just such a phenomenal sax player.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a nice human being as well.
Yes, for sure. Now this looks like from Peter Hamill's record, right?
That's the sketch
Oh, I
for
see.
go to the next picture.
How'd you come up with a chess idea for this? Is this
That's
so?
Peter's a chess fanatic.
Oh, he was. Didn't know
And
that.
this is, yeah, that's go to the next picture, the one after this.
Hmm.
Click on the next picture.
Okay, sure. Oh, oh yeah, look at that.
So this is it's a move in chess where it's checkmate, I think, in 2 moves. It's called fool's mate.
Right.
Kind of an idiot playing chess, you know. So he
Ha-
set the board up. I just reproduce it. I don't play chess, so I don't understand it at
So you
all.
reproductions this?
Yeah,
That
I
is
just
neat.
yeah.
And then what did you do? Paint in the plane and the other.
Yeah,
I
there's
see that
collage,
right around it.
collage. It's a combination of airbrush and collage,
It's great.
which is what I did for Van de Graaff. What I
Yeah.
did for Van was very different to Genesis, you know.
They were very raw. I mean, they really could come at you.
Oh
And
yeah,
Peter's a genius. I mean, he was pumping out more music in that period than I think anybody I've ever saw, and he doesn't get enough recognition,
no.
in my
I'll tell you
opinion.
something very interesting about the band, right? If they were all like happy and peaceful and all the rest of it, they didn't play very well, right?
Yeah, about
If
that.
if they were arguing and if there was stuff going on in the band, they played really well. It was like they brought it all out through the music, you know.
I agree with that. That's what happens in bands. You know, that
Yeah.
if you have tension, then you take it out on your playing, and it's could really be good. And I can't imagine on a good night how great they must have been.
Oh yeah. When they were like really pissed off with each other,
And
they played amazing.
I picked up God Bluff for $1.99 in 1980 it was like a import cutout. And when I heard that record, I said, wow, this is like really amazing stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nobody's got a voice like Peter on those
Yes.
records.
So imagine they're having like internal stuff in the band. When he screams even louder. You know? It's like
Right.
blood curdling scream.
That's something. Yeah, that's a great cover. Wow, look at this. That is really wild. What was this for? It,
Uh, band called Steamhammer,
oh,
an
okay.
English band. And it was just like earthquakes. It was all about earthquakes and the earth, you know.
Yeah, I don't know much about them.
I think they had 3 albums. I met them through the bass player, Louis Sanamo,
Right.
who was the bass player in the first version of Renaissance,
Oh, okay.
which came out as a Keith Relf band, you know.
Was this the 70s period? This
Yeah, early 70s, yeah. Yeah.
That's a great cover. I've never seen that one.
Really.
That's really neat.
It's actually it's there's another half to it. If you
Oh,
see
there
the
is. Okay.
it's like it goes up and it strings like puppet strings.
Oh, I see that.
There's a hand holding it and yeah.
It's like the Earth exploding into the Middle Earth there,
Right,
exposing the inner Earth.
exactly.
That's pretty neat, and that's really pretty wild. Keep going here. Oh, this is very angelic.
Yeah. I think
I
that's the
love.
first picture I did when I moved to LA. It
Ah,
was LA, you know, city of angels.
right. I like the way you put the shadows in,
Yeah,
Paul. It really makes a big difference.
yeah.
Because it really looks like the sun is reflecting off of that angel.
Yeah.
Very mysterious.
Floating.
It's great. Oh, I like this.
This is 9/11.
Oh, wow. Yep, I see the towers in the background. Yeah, this is, boy, that is pretty. Now, is this in your collection or was this sold already? This,
Yeah, sold a long time ago.
I'm sure.
Every now and again, someone orders a print of it, you know. Once
I
again,
may, I may want to order a print of this. It's so well done. And they can order them right on your website, right? We'll go to that too after this
yeah, yeah, yeah.
at the end. That
Okay.
that is really that is chilling. Man, that's really good. Oh, that's more a different kind of foxtrot here, combination, right?
Combination of trespass, nursery crime, and foxtrot.
Oh, okay.
Someone asked me to do it.
I like that.
Yeah,
That's very unique. Keep going here. Wow, look at the giant there.
that's the Colossus of Rhodes.
Okay.
That was done for an Italian band. They did a record called the Colossus.
I don't know them. I like that giant with the fire there. That's pretty neat. Oh, look at this. A devious character.
This is actually from my astrology series.
Okay.
This is Aquarius.
That's what I am, an Aquarian.
Aquarius, the water carrier.
I like the water bottle.
Yeah, he's carrying a sparklets bottle.
Oh, I see that. It's like I have to lift our water bottle. It's never fun here. It's cumbersome. You got to pick it up. It looks like he has no problem with that. I like Saturn in the background.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's really neat. And what is that? A board on that he's standing on,
Yeah, when I did this astrology series, I met this woman called Linda Goodman.
right?
She was an author of the best-selling astrology book ever
Hmm,
called Signs, right? And she said to me, I want you to do my astrology signs for me because I want to do a calendar. And she said, all the people I see, they do the traditional version of the.
right.
I think you do something unusual. So I said, well, I don't know very much about astrology. Give me like some clues, right? So she basically gave me like a recipe for
Hmm,
each sign, right?
right.
So Aquarius, she said that Aquarius was like the mad professor. They were very much into technology, um, obviously carrying water. Saturn is the planet. She gave me all this stuff in colors as well. She suggested certain colors.
All right. I see that.
Yeah. I used Ben Franklin as the model, actually.
Oh, okay.
Look at his face,
Yeah, look at that. Yeah, I never would have thought of that. That a lot of people, kids these days don't even know who Ben Franklin is, unless it's on $100 bill, right?
Right.
That's about it.
Give me a Franklin.
That's it. Oh, look at that. Looks like
Uh,
you're on Mars.
this just got used for a record, actually. I painted this like I was still in England. This is pre 74.
Okay.
Somebody saw this, a guy called Ed McCann, and he said, I want to use this as my record cover. I went, fine, okay. He did this record. It was very much about 2020,
Right.
whatever year 2020 was. So, yeah, it was the apocalypse. That was.
Right, right.
Mm.
Yeah, that looks it looks the colors are very intimidating. You
Very
know, when
do-
you look at it, it's like, man,
yeah, very doomy.
yes. Oh, look at this. So this was like for,
Charisma.
oh, I see that. I
Charisma
see.
record.
I like the sunflowers there.
Yeah.
Very nice. Oh, this is neat. Now, what
Yeah.
was the idea behind this?
Um, it was a sort of an ecological thing. It was like excuse me,
That's all
like
right.
the earth crying out, the earth is crying out, help me.
Yeah.
And it got used for a cover by a band called Eclat, a French band.
No, I don't know them.
Very, very, very good band. You should check them out.
What's they have a lot of records out?
Oh yeah, the name is spelled Eclat, Eclat.
Okay. I have to look that up.
Eclat means a blinding flash of light.
And what kind of music? It's for progressive
Yes. Yeah, progressive keyboard and guitar driven French. They're from Marseille.
right.
I love them. Yeah, they're very, very,
I got to check them out.
they're a good band to check out.
Oh, look at that. It looks like you're on a 20-mile spaceship,
Exactly.
right? It's a whole planet on a spaceship.
I had this idea that a science fiction idea that somebody would come up with the idea where they could like knock off a whole chunk of the Earth and make it into a spaceship and go and
Hmm,
live, right? So that's the whole idea. And if you look at it, there's two halves, right?
right,
You've got the top, which is basically this landscape with a dome over it,
right.
and the underneath, which is all the technology that keeps that going.
I see that. Yeah, that is neat.
You look closer, there's little rooms with guys in it with computers, and they're all running that. And the idea was that the top part didn't know the bottom half existed. They were
Man.
completely in this illusion.
Well, you never know. Out there in space with all the planets and stars, who knows? But that really is a good
This
depiction of what it might be like. Who knows?
this got used on a record called "The Epic Quality of Life" by an artist called Sean Gurin.
No, no.
a prog guy, very good prog guy. He died actually, but
Oh,
he was one of the best Peter Gabriel impersonators.
really?
Yeah.
I got to check that out.
Yeah.
I got to get the. I got to get more of these names. You have to send me.
Yeah, remind me.
I will, for
Actually,
sure.
I've just become friendly with a Russian guy,
Oh,
and he's like 30 years younger than me, right? I'm having the most amazing time turning him onto music and movies that he's no idea. I mean, it's
oh, that's something. I
I
bet
could,
you when he heard supper's ready, he couldn't believe it, right?
yeah, but he's not even aware of like the Rolling Stones, really. I mean, he knows a little bit of the Rolling Stones, but he doesn't know the history. Uh, he knows very little about movies.
Oh my gosh.
Blowing his mind every week. I go, oh, you got to watch this, right? And he's
I
like,
was when I went to get these hearing aids done. Have hearing loss. The lady there, girl, was in her 20s, never heard of Alice Cooper. She
it's,
knew
ama-
school's out. That's about it.
it's amazing.
If that's what they just don't know history of music. A lot of people these days that are younger, I guess they're not. I don't know what it is.
Well, of course, coming from Russia, there's censorship,
Oh yeah,
allowed to see the West, what was going on.
that must have been that's something.
So
Oh, look at this. Here's another world.
this is the same world.
Oh, it is.
This is the middle of the cover. It's
That
like
is
another,
great.
you know.
A lot of space again on the left side, it looks like, and more
Yeah.
on the right of that.
Once again, down the middle, there's like a folded kind of wall. You see, there's like a thing that divides the two halves.
Right.
Okay, on the right side is the illusion, and on the left side is all the machinery and the computers keeping it going.
I like
Gener-
the way you design these with that in mind, with the
yeah,
folding of the record and opening it up.
yeah, yeah. And all these little characters relate to songs on the record.
Oh, okay.
There's a song about Merlin. There's a song called what's it? Well, it's about a baby having nightmares in its crib, about a bat.
That's a lot of detailed drawing there. That is really very, very deep. That must have taken you a long time to do this one. Did this
Yeah.
take you a while?
Oh yeah. Weeks.
I'm sure.
That's what
Oh,
you
look at that. King. I like
that's,
that.
that's Leo.
Hmm.
That's another astrology sign that got used on a cover.
I like the sun that's beaten down on the way you did that on the side of the lion there. And the sun is still the king, right? And so is he.
Well, Leo, that's the sign is the sun. They don't
Yep.
have and it's based on the Lincoln pose from the Lincoln Memorial.
Oh yeah. Yep. Oh yeah. I would never would have thought of that.
Right.
That's great. Oh, here's another kind of
That's Millennium.
space kind of.
Yeah, and you see it's that same idea again, a piece of the earth kind of
Yep.
broken off and self-existent, it exists as itself and it's floating through space towards the millennium. That's that big wave coming
I
towards.
see that.
So this is at least 24 years old.
Wow. Were you a big fan of 2001 Space
Oh yeah,
Odyssey?
yeah.
Great movie.
I've always been a space case.
Yeah, well, reminds me of that for some reason. Floating in space like that, that it's like a ship almost. I think it is.
I was always one of those people that always used to look up at the sky at night.
Well, you should have came to New Jersey a few months back. We had a lot of activity.
You did? Oh, all
Oh, the
those.
drones.
Yeah, yeah. What did they find out that was?
We've never known. It's
Oh,
still a mystery.
really?
We were supposed to be told what it was, but it was like a secret operation. I don't know. Who knows? But they're still out there, but not as many as there were. It was like a panic going on. You
Wow.
know, it was crazy.
You thought you were being invaded, huh?
Right, invaded, right. Oh, like look at that.
That's called re-entry.
Right.
It's the idea was a ship coming from deep space at the speed of light. and they're re-entering the atmosphere, you know.
That is great. Looks like with those craters, is that going to a moon?
It's between the Earth and the Moon, yeah.
Right. So I thought. You got the colors of light there. That's what I like too, the spectrum.
Yeah. That's a
And
big,
you got it's
oh,
really neat.
quite
Is
big.
this for a record too, or just
It was used by a band called the Far East Family Band, a Japanese band,
don't know them?
and they had a record called "A Message from the Stars." We're talking early '70s here. Yeah.
Hmm, that's pretty neat.
By the time I have a painting already done,
Right.
someone will ask me, "Can we use that?" I say, "Sure, yeah, yeah."
This is
It's
more into the it's like a Genesis
selling England,
yup. Oh, so you did you do the cover for Selling England?
but very often people say to me, "What would you have done if you had done the cover for Selling England?" And so I kind of do my version of it, you know.
So this would have been it?
Yeah.
Oh wow. I like it. Look at those shrubs. Those like shrubs that are cut there in the back of that chair.
Yeah.
That's pretty neat. Then you
And,
have like a city in the or little country town in the background with the church.
and the lamb underneath the park bench.
Oh yeah, see that. Look at that. That's great. Oh, Stonehenge.
Yeah, this is self-explanatory, don't you think?
Yeah, oh yeah.
What?
I like that. I've been to Stonehenge once.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty interesting.
Was it a long time ago? Because
Yeah, yeah, that's when you could really go up close. I
right, you
would,
can walk to.
uh,
You can't do that now.
no, no, this was like 1990, I think, 92.
As early as that. Eh?
Yeah, I don't think they could. That then you could go pretty close.
Well, people were chipping bits off it, you know, and taking it home. I mean, ridiculous.
Yeah,
So yeah, so this is Karma. Yeah.
yeah. Oh, look at this.
This was made for a band called Les Ormes.
Oh, I know them.
Yeah, they're a great band.
They are a great band. I have one of their records. It's fantastic.
Yeah, this was the record called Elementi, which is the four elements. Earth,
That
air.
is neat.
Yeah, I
I like
like
the golf course there. That's
the
really,
got the giant hole. I love that.
it's like the happy side of this man and the upset man there. Oh, UFO there looks like.
Same band. This was called Infiniti, which is infinity, and that's the DNA strand.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's pretty neat.
Wow.
Oh, not too fast, sir. Oh, look at that. That's a real interesting
Yeah.
painting.
Occasionally, I'll do a painting inspired by a song. You know,
Okay.
this is "Stairway to Heaven."
That idea with the light coming in, that's really intense.
So
Yeah.
I want to do an illustration of the song "Stairway to Heaven." So
Yeah.
this is my version.
Oh, look at that.
This is quite recent.
Oh, okay.
The band's called Days Between Stations.
Don't know them.
You should check them out. They're really good.
Yeah, you,
And the album was called Giants. And the idea was all the giant things in our lives, you know, like technology,
mm,
um,
I see
mortgage,
that.
our house mortgages, and all that sort of
Oh,
stuff.
yeah.
See down here in the corner, in the bottom right corner, is karma.
Yeah, I see that. Yep. Nothing's really changed with the way people act. They're still, what we are despite the technology.
The guy here with all the rock on his back,
Yeah.
got all his keys, all his possessions, you know.
Yep.
You got Buddha here in the background.
Yep. See that.
It's
Got a
all,
computer screen there.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
That's pretty neat.
yeah.
Looks like a big giant there. That was,
Well, those are the two guys there's two primary guys in the band,
oh, okay.
both
I got to
playing.
check them out.
Yeah, Yeah, I'll give you a list when we're done
Yeah,
here.
I want a list because maybe I could talk to some of these folks if they're still alive or playing.
Oh, yeah, yeah. In fact, I spoke to them quite recently.
Now
Yeah.
this is very uh I think a Halloween or a pirate that
It's pirates, yeah.
is I thought. Yep. I
It
like
was,
that.
it was done for an album called Pirate Tales.
Hmm, that's really good. I like the teeth and the guns and the colors are really vibrant. Well, the holding pattern.
He's another great guy. He's from your part of the world as well.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know this band.
Holding pattern.
I got to check them out. Are they from what, New York area?
Where's he from? No, a bit further north.
Oh,
Um, I don't remember which. I think it's not Jersey. What's the next state?
oh, New York, Pennsylvania,
Pens-
Maryland.
yeah, I'll write that down as another one too. I'm writing down these bands.
Now, what do you meet these at Prague Prague rock festivals, or they just contact you and
Yeah, yeah.
it's
Or they
great.
site and they say we want you to do this. Would you do a cover for us?
Hmm. That's a New York City, huh?
No, that's LA. That's the LA sub.
Oh, okay. That's
But
really unusual.
I did this thing where I had this costume of a cyborg,
Right.
and I would pop up in all these different places and take photographs. So here's the cyborg waiting for the train.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you about the Borg Symphony.
Yeah.
That's pretty neat.
Have you heard it? Have you listened to
No, I haven't heard it. I got to listen to that.
it? It's a nice record. I really enjoyed making it.
Now,
It's,
you played all the instruments on it, or was it a band?
we had a guy, an arranger, who
Right.
was I played some of the instruments. We had all sorts of people play on it.
Hmm.
Special vocalists, and one guy was an actor. He did the reading.
Hmm. Oh, look at this thing. This is really, really nice. Another record for a group.
Yeah,
Oh,
this was
wow.
based on a painting by one of my favorite artists, an English painter called Turner.
Okay.
It's like early 1800s,
Hmm.
and he did this painting of an old battleship from the Battle of Trafalgar being towed away to be broken up.
Oh, okay. See that.
So I did my version of it, which is a lot more. There's nothing towing it away. It's a ghost ship.
It is very dramatic. It's got could feel the energy in that picture of what happened. Yeah, that is very well done. Is that part of the same another record?
Now, this is an idea. This got used on a record.
Hmm.
There's a series I did of questions,
Hmm.
and the question of this was music? Question mark.
Yeah, that's neat. I like the guitar there. Oh, this is very spiritual.
Yep. This was called Gandhi and the Key, which
I
is like the two worlds, the spiritual world and the physical world.
I see that. That's really beautiful.
Yeah.
And now, how big is this? Was this a big painting
Uh,
you did?
really, probably 48 inches wide.
Wow,
Wasn't huge.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that.
That's the thing I did for Mott the Hoople.
Oh, how about that?
The dragon eating its own tail.
Yeah,
Yeah.
all the young dudes.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were a good band.
They were good. Yeah. They had some.
Ah, uh, apple there. That's a unique color. Because that looks like the earth.
Yeah, it is.
But I like the way at first glance, it looks like an apple. And then when you really look at it, you see it's the earth.
Yeah. Yeah.
First impression.
Why not? Ooh,
Okay.
this is
Oh, look
something.
at that. That's a whole
Yeah,
mystical land.
this is very busy.
It
Very,
is. That's a lot of precise little detail work on that.
you see, there's like a path up to the top, right?
Right.
And it's all the deviations you can take and all the distractions that
Yep.
very
Oh,
often.
that I see that. We have a lot of them, even more than ever. Oh, look at that. That's really neat.
This was made for Armando Gallo's book about Genesis.
Right.
I Know What I Like. Are you aware of that book?
Right. Oh, yeah.
And the idea was that inside the old people, who knows what's going on, you know. I've always had this idea that old people are just dismissed, you know.
They are. They really are. I agree with that.
Really, they're actually a source of information, knowledge, and all the rest of it, you know. And they're just dismissed. I'm suffering from that myself. I very often
Yeah.
you're
Imagine.
you're old, you're invisible, you know.
I agree. And the thing is, they miss out because of the knowledge you have about everything and living on this earth long. So
Well,
it's
yeah, but the thing I had recently, about a month ago, I was invited to go to this transgender event, you know.
right.
It's a combination of art show, music, and all the rest of it. And I went with one of my friends, same age as me, right? And it was all young people, and they didn't talk to us.
No.
It was food. There
Oh,
was a buffet type thing, and everybody got their food, sat down at the table. They all had their own little groups, and they all sat at the table and talked to each other. Nobody talked to either of us.
oh,
It's like we're invisible. And we both said to each other, what a shame.
it is.
We have so much knowledge to pass on to these people, particularly with the transgender issue, you know,
I'm sure.
see your way through that safely and all the rest of it. It's bizarre.
Yeah. Well, so with the society now, we're constantly distracted with the phone and there's so many distractions and people seem to be into their own little world these days.
Their own little world, and it's very fast turnover.
Yup.
Nothing lasts for more than 15 minutes, you know. And it's this ongoing thing, and it's definitely a youth culture.
Yup.
Everything is geared towards youth, you know.
Yep. And, same with the music. You just got to find good music. There's still great music being produced out there, but then there's a lot of garbage. I'm
Of course.
sorry to say.
Yeah,
You know, anybody with a computer can slap together songs.
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I think that looks, oh, I like this one.
This is very interesting. This is a band from England, basically. And they were a pub band, right? A blues pub band. But what got me was their name. They were called Time Divers.
That's an unusual name.
One of the guys who wrote to me, he said, we'd really like you to do our cover for us. So I said, well, send me some of the music and tell me. So basically, their music was like a live recording,
Right.
which was good. It was good straight ahead blues, but the name really got me. It inspired me to create this image, right?
Yeah, see that.
They loved it. They loved it. It was like,
That
yeah,
looks great. Yeah, that
what
is very unique.
great name for a band though, Time Divers.
Oh, who pays for the, do these have record labels that pay you for this work? Or do
A
they,
lot. Some of them are independent. They do their own record and they pay me. But yeah, record covers, of course, it doesn't mean as much now. And of course, there aren't record companies anymore.
no, there's three left. I heard three major labels left
Really.
from my experience here on this show, these shows that I've put on, these interviews.
Actually, go back two images, can you?
This
Hey,
one,
back again.
that.
That's me painting that picture live.
Oh, look at that.
Hand coming out of the earth. This is the band I told you about, Eclat.
Right, right.
So I'm painting the record cover live. This was in Mexico, actually.
Hmm. Well, that's a real neat idea. And then you just do whatever comes into your head at the moment. It's just a spontaneous.
It depends. Sometimes I plan it out. Like I knew I wanted to paint this cover,
Right.
and I knew I could do it in like 90 minutes, So I draw it out. It's all drawn out beforehand, and then I just paint. Sometimes I just do whatever comes into my mind, which is even more fun.
Now the next Prague Rock event, everybody out there, it's in New Jersey, I guess again. Are you going to be doing this, or you don't know yet what?
Yeah, well, I'll go and they'll give me canvases and I'll bring my brushes and whatever, and I do what occurs to me. I usually look at the list of artists to see who I'd like to paint with. Like last year with
Right.
Gong, I definitely wanted to paint with Gong.
Oh yeah.
So I look at the artists and I'll look at maybe one of their record covers I might like to do, or just do spontaneous stuff.
Have you ever met Roger Dean?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
He, he's done a lot of amazing stuff.
Oh yeah.
Their covers.
We have a bit of a weird relationship.
Yeah, oh boy. Oh, I guess he's got, tackling big artists and who knows.
He's a bit competitive, which I don't even. We're in different worlds.
Yeah, well, there's people out there that get this narcissist attitude. They don't want to hear anything but what they're doing, and it's kind of strange out there, but I've people I know like that. Oh, look at that.
He's a lot more serious about his art than I am.
Yeah, he's got his own thing going there.
This is called Storm in a Teacup.
That is neat.
What what is the American expression?
I like
Storm in a
that.
yeah. What do they call it in America?
What tea? What do you mean, teacup?
They have another expression for it. Storm in a. Anyway, it's a storm in a teacup.
That's that's complicated.
Now this is
Oh my
this
gosh.
this is the eight deadly sins.
Wow.
This is huge. In fact, if I turn the camera around, you can see it on my wall.
Hmm. Have you put a lot of these in like art galleries, like
Yeah,
permanent collections
yeah.
of places?
Oh, you want it?
That must be a thrill. Oh yeah, there it is. I never seen that in the film.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh yeah, remember that.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's what is it? 12 feet across.
yep.
12 feet across, 6 feet high.
We're going. Wow, look at that.
Hmm.
Beautiful. Angel upon the guy there. The
Yeah, this
guy, it looks like his guardian angel there.
you know what it is? It's Roe versus Wade.
Yep. Look at that. I like that. Oh, a diamond lasts forever.
This was Shine On You Crazy Diamond.
Oh, okay.
This is good. We're going through these pictures because these don't get seen very often.
Yeah, this is great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think everybody out there really is going to enjoy this. Oh, look at that.
That was a guy called Cyril Vido, a French he had a band called the Infinite Symphony.
Mm,
Yeah,
look at that. Oh, wow. That's neat. I like the landscape on this. It's
yeah.
and the square there, the banjo, it's like a banjo. No, the
It's a
guitar, almost like a banjo guitar,
the
almost.
national guitar
Yep.
where it has the metal resonator.
Right. I see that.
Is based on that.
That
This
is
is,
really nice.
this is a picture about the Mississippi Delta.
Is this for a record too?
It was used for a record, but originally it was a commission. This lady wanted me to paint a picture about the Mississippi Delta.
Mm, wow.
Yeah. Wow.
Oh, there's,
I think this speaks for itself, right?
I like that. Well
And,
done.
and the next one,
Oh, excellent. Yep.
that's the real thing.
Bent right at you.
I actually got a guy to bend that barrel for me, a
Oh, you
blacksmith.
did? Hmm, that's pretty neat.
This is the festival in Marseille.
Okay.
Great festival. A lot of European bands.
See that?
What year was this? This was
Yeah, look at all these groups.
yeah.
So do you go every year to this?
I haven't been for a few years, but next year they've changed the format a little bit. It's got a little bit more um, broader. It's
Hmm.
not purely prog. There's a little bit of jazz in there.
Oh, a little bit of beer. It looks like beer. Guinness.
It's
That's a
actually
good one.
the Glass of Galaxy.
Ah, ah, there's more Genesis. This
Yeah,
is like Trick of the Tail almost. But so this you did for the tour? Looks like.
yeah, yeah. You see all the different phases of the band as well, right?
Oh yeah, I see that.
You got the Slipper Man from the Lamb.
Hmm.
If you go from the right to the left, then you've got Ripples.
Oh, I see that.
Ripples never come back. Then the Lamb, Harold the Barrel. The guy here is that song of theirs. There must be some misunderstanding.
Hmm.
And then of course Nursery Crime.
Oh, I see that. Yeah, that's great. Ah, there it is, the head.
Mm.
The shadow is great. Oh, look at that.
Reworking of Trespass.
Was this for a special
I did a
version?
collection of 8 by 10 prints, which this was one of them.
No, that's very nice. Man, look at that blood, boy. That sticks out. I tell you, that's great. Oh, look at that.
That's the reverse of. Remember on the Genesis thing, it was the old woman looking in the mirror and seeing the young woman.
Hmm.
This is the reverse of that. It's
Oh, yeah, see that.
the
That's
young woman.
kind of
Yeah,
that's chilling.
yeah.
I like the once again, the shadows are great.
I'm big on shadows.
That it makes a difference because
It makes
we all have shadows from the sun and when we're outside or whatever.
yeah. What's next?
Hmm. Just a different version of
This is the sixth saintly shrouded man
oh, okay.
from
That's
Supper's.
nice. I like the moon there, the little
Yeah,
half moon there, crescent moon.
series of 8 by 10s that we did.
Oh wow. More. This is
Yeah,
great.
and
Boy, that's a real combination.
yeah,
Now this is already sold, I'm sure. These all these are mostly sold already, and you just have prints.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, we sell prints.
Yeah, this is very mysterious.
This is a sketch for. Go to the next picture.
Hmm. Oh, look at that.
Go back one.
Go back.
There you go. That was the
Oh,
sketch.
okay.
That was the sketch for this,
That's
which
neat.
is called Waterline. That was the name of the record.
Is that what's the band? What's the band's name?
There's a guy called Sean Gurin.
Hmm.
Yeah,
This would make a great record cover. Is this a cover also?
never got used. No,
Boy, that's beautiful. That's really neat. They're at the edge of the world there. Look at that. Ready to jump off.
right.
Oh man.
I haven't
I like
seen
the
some
feet. The feet are great.
of these images for a long time. Oh no,
What city is this?
this was a record called Sanctuary, and the idea was this guy was inside his little sanctuary listening to music,
Hmm,
and around in the world was all turning to shit. You know.
beautiful. It almost looks like somewhere in Italy.
Yeah, well, that's the dome in Florence.
Oh, okay. That's what I thought. Oh, there we go. This gets very
Well,
mystical there.
these are things that I make out of sand.
Oh, okay.
They're made on the floor.
And you just paint it on the floor
Nice
like that?
sand.
Oh, see that. Yep.
Then you brush it away.
Oh, oh, that's right. I remember that. from the documentary.
Right.
That's neat.
Yeah.
The yin, the yang. That is really well done. Everything, the shapes are perfect.
I think there's some here where, yeah, you'll see I do chalk as well.
Right. Oh,
That's
look at that. Very mystic.
and then just rub it out.
Yeah. Beautiful.
Next one,
Oh, looks like our cat.
my cat likes to destroy them.
That's funny. Yeah, we've got a year-old cat and it's wild as ever. It's jumps on tables, you spray it with water, it comes back.
I used to use like a little water pistol.
That's what we do.
They'll stop it eventually.
I think I started using these bells. That scares her off the table a little bit. The cats don't like the sound of like music, live music, or hurts their ears.
Really?
A bell, a little jingle bell that
Uh-huh.
kind of scares them. But I don't like to use it too often on her.
That's
More
all right.
sand? Ah, nice.
Yeah. Yeah,
Here
they're
and gone.
very nice things to do because you take your time, you know,
But isn't
and
it sad when it's gone though? I mean, when it's
you just
poof.
brush. Yeah. It blows people's minds actually. A lot of people can't understand how you can do it.
Ah,
And
I
I have
like
people,
that.
all
Oh,
these,
look at that.
yeah, that was a tabletop I did with
Beautiful. More
yeah,
yin and yang, almost a flower of life.
yeah.
There it is. Oh, yeah, look at that. Yeah, I remember seeing that.
This is the chalk.
Yeah, I like that.
And then
Oh,
you
look
see,
at this is when you got,
I got I got a dancer to dance on it.
oh, wow, look at that. Oh, that's spooky.
Yeah.
Looks like a cloud burst.
That's all the footprints. See all the footprints?
Ah,
Yeah.
that is neat. Oh, well, this has been quite an amazing thing, Paul.
That's it, right? Isn't that
It's
the
been
end?
really good. Well done.
Yeah, well, thanks for going through that. I haven't done that
Sure.
time.
I
And it
mean, maybe we'll call it, we should come back and talk about, the documentary more and we should do part two maybe if you're up for it.
sure, sure, man.
We could go on your website and see the other art you're doing, but the documentary is now on those sites, Apple, it's on Amazon Prime, and I would suggest everybody to see it. It's
Yeah.
really well done.
Called Paul and Trisha, The Art of Fluidity.
And you become a different artist, right? When you're in that persona, right? I've noticed that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Very, very different. The work is very different. We didn't even get into that in
We
this.
should, we should. We will have to go in. We should
Yeah.
do part two and talk about that. I
Okay.
really enjoy it because to paint like that, then you don't know at the end you let the paint take over.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
That's what I've seen with the sand and the water. I never thought of it doing a painting like that. I do art, a little bit of art, but I never thought about using sand or water mixing with.
It's fascinating. I got the idea from the Tibetans.
Oh, okay.
They do it and they do these really complicated images. Sometimes takes 5 guys a week to do it. And then they just brush it away. And it was like, wow, I like that.
Yeah.
I
Well, it's
like,
kind of like the story of life, right? We're here and we're brushed away, right?
yeah. We're
But
here on tomorrow.
well, it's been a pleasure, Paul. It's been an honor to have you on. You're a world-class artist and great guy. And thanks for your time here. I think everybody's going to really enjoy seeing this.
Yeah. And I'll follow up. I'll send you some of these names we talked about so you
Send
can
me
check.
some names, and if you want to do part two, we could talk more about your other persona and the other art you do.
Yeah.
And because we spent a lot of time on those paintings, it was great. All right, Paul. Have a great day, and thank you for your time.
Talk to you
Talk to you
soon.
soon. Take care. Bye.